Hello and welcome to the second video of our on-demand Photoshop workshop. We will be working in depth with tools and layers. So to start, this combination of lemons is actually the background. So if we go over to the right here, it says background and there's a lock on it. Let's click that lock to make it go away so we can actually interact with this image. So as you might have seen, when I clicked on this image, it has gone away. That's because I'm using the move tool, or you can use L on your keyboard to just move the image around. You can see that background behind there, and we'll just put it back. If you want to freely transform this image, you can do Control and T on the keyboard. You'll see these white squares in the corners. If you click and drag, it will expand and shrink. And then if you hold shift while you do that, you can stretch it out, but it kind of looks terrible, so we will keep that normal. And then when you're done, hit commit at the bottom or just select another tool and it will commit that. If we want to select a certain part of the image, let's say we want this cut up lemon right here, there are a few ways we can do that. We can use the marquee tool, which is the M tool. It is this kind of square rectangular tool, so I'll click and drag over this lemon and it is now selected. And then I can move this selection around, so if I wanted to have this selected, I'll just drag it over there. But I want this selected. If I were to use my move tool, then it would cut it out of here and we can see the background behind there. I'll do Control Z and deselect that. If you want maybe more precise selecting, we can use the lasso tool. I used the zoom tool to zoom in, and then you use the lasso tool, and we can just kind of trace around this. Obviously, you'd have to be more careful than I am, but that's how you do that. Use the move tool, same thing. If you don't really have steady hands like me, you can use the object selection tool. It's basically a very fancy version of the lasso tool, where you just select the object and Photoshop will kind of select it for you. It's not always super accurate, but it is something. And I'll deselect that again and we'll zoom out. If we wanted to crop this image for a reason, we can go to the crop tool on the sidebar or use C on the keyboard. These, in the corners, there will be white outlines. You will click and drag to where you want to crop. We are going to keep maybe just a few lemons in the picture, and then we'll just, and then to accept it at the top, we will hit this check mark. And our image is cropped. So Photoshop is a photo editing software, so we are going to edit this lemon. Maybe I don't want this little divot right there in the lemon. I can use the spot healing brush tool or use J. I will turn down the size and I will just click on that divot and it will disappear. And if I do Control Z, we can see the comparison. So if you were to maybe be editing your face and you had maybe a really bad pimple on that day, you can use Photoshop to fix it. You have to be precise because if you're not, it can look weird. So with that spot healing tool, you can remove little parts of the image, but if you want to maybe, let's say we want to remove this whole lemon from the equation and just have the blue background, what would we do? As with all applications, there are a lot of ways to do one thing. One thing you can do is use the patch tool. So, to use the patch tool, I will select the part of the image I want to get rid of. I'm going to select this lemon and the shadow on the outside. It is selected, and now I'm going to click and drag somewhere else, maybe over here. So now when I deselect this, it has the blue background. You can see that it looks a bit weird. It doesn't really match the rest of the blue. and we can fix that as well. So to get rid of this, we can use the clone stamp tool. What this does is it takes pixels from other parts of the image and then replaces it with where you want it to be. So if I were to hold Alt on the keyboard and click this selection right here, this is the area of pixels I want to get it from. I do Alt click. So now that is selected. So if I were to draw over this, there is a black circle is where I am coloring that in, and the white plus sign is where I'm getting those pixels from. So it might take a bit to get the color matching right. You might have to click Alt in a lot of different areas just to make it match. But if we have enough patience, we can get the lemon to totally disappear and people will be none the wiser. This is about the level I could get the lemon to disappear with the time I had, but I would say it looks pretty good if I didn't know there was supposed to be a lemon there. Now we will talk about layers, and to do that, we'll give an example. What if I would like to have another lemon replace the previous lemon? To do that, I would go to the Object Selection tool. I will maybe just select a random lemon right here. I am going to copy it, Control C, and then go to my Move tool, Control V, and now we have a lemon. As you might have noticed, when we copied and pasted this new lemon, another layer has appeared. So the bottom layer is our original image, and layer 1, the top image, is that new lemon we copied. If I were to press this eye icon next to our background, that would go away and the lemon would be there. If I were to click the eye on this layer 1, that would go away. If I were to have my background layer selected and I were to maybe draw on the background, the lemons in the original background would be colored on. But then if I were to try to do the new lemon, it would go behind because that new lemon is on top. If I wanted this lemon to be a different color than all of the rest, it is good that it is on a new layer. That way it will only affect this lemon and not the others. So I'm going to have that layer selected. I will go to Image, Adjustments, and maybe Hue/Saturation. And then if I wanted to make the lemon a crazy color, I could do that. And then I would have this green lemon. Thank you for watching this second video in our Photoshop on-demand tutorial, where we talked about working in depth with important tools and using layers. Thank you for watching.